on to the prepared speeches section. For guests, this is the part where speakers give their prepared speeches based on some manual, and we have evaluation section which proceeds after that. Our first speaker today is working on her advanced manual of special occasion speeches. Today she is here to work on a project Speaking in Praise. Please help me welcome Maithili with the speech entitled My 5 Reasons. The speech time is 5 to 7 minutes. Maithili.
I have the best father in the whole wide world. I can tell you that, but let me explain how I reached this conclusion. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. It all started when I was born. Back when I was born, which wasn't that long ago, it was still not considered great news in India if a girl was born. And I, mind you, was the second daughter to my parents. So when I was born, my father was so ecstatic, he ran all over the hospital distributing sweets to people. One somewhat traditional woman picked up a sweet. Nobody says no to that. As she was stuffing it into her mouth, she said, "Ladka hua," meaning you had a boy. My dad looks at her and says, "Ladka, I had a girl," and he walks away. This woman with her sweet, she was not amused. Who cares? My dad was so happy that he had a daughter, he didn't care what the rest of the world thought. Ladies and gentlemen, my father, the happy, oblivious one. Now if you ask Arjun, he will attest to this. I love simple pleasures in life. I enjoy the coffee I drink, I enjoy the toast I eat. It's not just limited to eating. I really enjoy simple pleasures in life. And it's been this way for a very long time. Again, thanks to my father. When I was a little kid, it used to rain a lot in India. It still does. Anytime it rained, my mother would be gravely concerned that I would go playing in the rain and fall sick. It eventually always ended the same way. My father and I would go out in the rain, get drenched, sing happy songs, and it didn't stop there. We'd walk around on the streets after it stopped raining, jumping into the puddles. He jumped with me. We loved that. When on holidays, we would always go to the beach, just the two of us. We would be there in the beach all day, getting sunburnt, with skin peeling off by the end of the holiday. But what great pleasure sitting there in the water all day. Simple pleasures. Reason number 2, my father, the man who appreciates simple pleasures in life. For as long as I can remember, I've always had someone who's made fun of me. And I married my father's ancillary. Yes, my father always made fun of me. When I was a little kid and my milk teeth were falling off one after the other, I'd usually have one wiggly tooth. It wouldn't let me eat because I was scared I'd swallow it. It would be hanging by that last thread. My concerned father would come up to me and say, "Let me get that out for you." I would be pleased. He'd pull it off, and then he'd be the first in line to say, "Look at that, that's a broken fence there." Not amused. He once had me convinced, I was still young, don't get this wrong, he had me convinced that I was born to monkeys and that later my parents had adopted me. I was so stepping mad that day. I screamed and cried. I was so annoyed. They took some time to explain that I wasn't actually born to monkeys. But the point is, he always made fun of me. And if I complained, he'd say, "You need to develop a sense of humor. This is not right." It took me a long, long time, but I'm there now. I like making fun of myself. And I see the value in his words now. Reason number 3, my father, the eye-opener. Usually when people meet with near-death experiences, their life changes forever. They're shaken up, Sometimes, after such an experience, they decide they want to live an austere life. My father was on a hike with a bunch of people, and when they were returning from the high peaks in Himalayas, they were in a jeep, and the jeep broke. The axle broke, the jeep lost control, and they were all tossed on the side. They all survived, just barely survived that day. They descended back to the base of the mountain, and everyone had heard of this horrible accident. A whole village gathered to check on these people if they were doing okay. They brought warm clothes, some people got them food, and a very concerned gentleman, a villager, had brought them some tea. My dad loves tea. He picked up the cup. One sip, he looked at the villager and said, "Can I please have some sugarless tea?" Reason 4, my father. Well, my father. A couple of years ago, we were looking for a groom for me. Had some pretty complicated expectations, and these were intangible, and my dad was going crazy trying to find a groom. His advice fell on deaf ears for a very, very long time, but eventually he got through to me. He told me there are just 2 qualities I need to pay attention to. 1, the man needs to be kind, and 2, he must respect women, his mother in particular. Lastly, he added, find a man that can shed a tear or 2, because there is nothing macho or great if a man cannot feel for another fellow human being. Well, I did find someone. And that's my reason number 5, my dad, the wise one. Now, I told you my reasons. I've explained why I think my father is the best in the whole damn world. Sorry about the language. This Father's Day, I'd like you to all think about the same reasons. Because no matter how old we grow, there is a little voice in our head that says, I have the best dad in the world. Think back to all the times and come up with your 5 reasons. Mr. Toastmaster.